Hello there. Today we're going to learn a new word, and we're going to learn why we don't want it to apply to each of us. So before I get to that new word, I just want to remind you that if you like the work we're doing, please subscribe to the channel and also visit forwardky.com and sign up as a free member. Okay, a few weeks ago, the pastor of our church began a prayer by explaining a word before he prayed, which he said was unusual, and I thought it was. And then he used a word that I knew the meaning of, but had not heard it used in a long, long time. So let me read the beginning of the pastor's prayer. We come to confess, loving God, that we are growing ever more inured to the callousness and brutality of our world. Presidents threaten and belittle and demean, and we begin to get used to it. Immigrants who are not criminals are swept off the street by masked immigration officers, and we begin to get used to it. In an act of hate toward gay and queer people, books are removed from libraries, and we grow inured to it. Children starving in Gaza emerges as a nation's strategy of war, and we prefer not to consider that our nation's weapons enforce this strategy. Forgive us for becoming inured, and keep our souls alive, O God. So I'm sure you know by now what the word is. It's inured. And what it means is to become accustomed to something that is unpleasant or wrong or even evil. It's a good word. It's a word that applies to many of us many times, I'm sure. I'm sure that, like me, many of us are inured to homeless people or to homelessness. Seeing another homeless person, we feel a twinge of sympathy, but then we go on with our day. I'm sure that many of us are becoming inured or are inured to certain things in politics. I just assume that Republicans in Frankfurt are going to use their power to ram through what they want without ever consulting with their colleagues across the aisle, the Democrats, and I'm basically inured to that. I don't even get really too upset anymore because I expect it. So inured is a good word, and all of us are guilty of it sometimes. But the point today is, are we becoming inured to what is happening in our country? I have told this story many times. The television series, The Man in the High Tower, was about the Nazis having won World War II and taking the eastern two-thirds of the United States and turning it into a Nazi country. And a reviewer of the series said that the thing he was most struck by watching the series was not the Nazi officers or seeing Nazi flags flying on American buildings. It was the fact that most of the people in the country just put their head down and said, well, this is the new normal. I'm horrified that we will do the same thing today. I'm so worried that we will all learn to just accept the fascist takeover of our country, that we will come to just accept armed, masked, unidentified people grabbing people off the streets and taking them away, and we never hear from them again. I'm worried that we will become used to the fact that Trump and even more his lackeys that he's put in power will do what they can to destroy the United States, to wreck the federal government, to take away all the programs that do good for everyday people and give all that they can to the wealthy and the powerful. Inured. There's a word that we need to avoid. We need to be sensitive to the fact that we might be becoming inured, and we need to encourage each other. No, don't normalize this. Don't accept this. It is wrong. It is evil, and we have to stand up and fight against it. So there's your word for today, inured. Let's tell each other, don't become inured to what Trump is doing.